What's happening, people? Welcome back to Clown Questions, the show where there are no dumb questions. I'm your host, Matt Clown Emoji. Yes, that is my legal government name. Today, I will be attempting to answer the question: Is Real Madrid a super team? In addition to that, my little brother, Jona, will be joining us on the podcast to talk NBA and everything else. So let's get into it. Who's down to clown?
That's a clown question, bro.
So, is Real Madrid a super team? I think so, but I'm not dialed in enough in soccer to know. I did say I would attempt to answer the question. I don't know if I'm actually going to answer it, but I think they're a super team. I wish I could have Poker Perry here to answer this because, he knows what's up in the soccer world. But in my eyes, they're a super team. Real Madrid just won the Champions League. So, congratulations to the city of Madrid for being champions of the Champions League. But the bigger news was they signed the best player in the world, the best footballer in the world, in Kylian Mbappe. So, the rich get richer here. And absolutely, it's a super team. The rest of the names on the super team: Valverde, Tucumene, Camavinga, Bellingham, and of course Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. is the only one of that bunch that I recognize the name from watching him play for Brazil in the World Cup. So if you're a soccer head, you probably know a lot of those names, and maybe you could let me know if they are a super team because I'm not so sure. But my answer is going to be yes. That's my attempt at answering the question. When you win the Champions League and then you add Kylian Mbappe, it would be like if the 49ers won the Super Bowl last year and then added Patrick Mahomes. It's just insanity. Um, so yeah, Real Madrid, good luck beating them in the future. Let's get into some basketball, some women's basketball in particular, which has been a hot topic and has been very controversial. Who would have thought it would have been this controversial a league that people used to not really care about, but now people are getting into it. They're getting passionate, and frankly, they're getting maybe a little overzealous. As Chennedy Clark did. So I have to ask the question about Chennedy. Is it's not Chennedy Clark. I mixed her up with Caitlin Clark. Is Chennedy Carter a dirty player? I don't think so. I don't think she's a dirty player, but she did make a dirty play. Go look up the play for yourself. Just look up Chennedy Carter, and that's Chennedy Carter with an H, not Chennedy. It's pronounced Kennedy. Um, but Kennedy she hip checked Caitlin Clark in a game, and it was very clear she was targeting Caitlin Clark, as Clark has been the target of many a hard foul, hard screen, but this one was a certified dirty play. You can't argue that she was boxing out because it was after a made shot. Maybe 5 seconds went by, they're inbounding the ball, and Kennedy just comes in and gives Caitlin a little butt bump. So dirty play by Kennedy. Afterwards in the interviews, Caitlin Clark said that's just not a basketball play. That is correct. I mean, the hip checks happen in basketball a lot, but it was during a dead ball play. Kennedy can't make I was playing defense, or I was trying to rebound. It happened after a made shot, and she waited and made it way too obvious. So dirty play, Kennedy. I'm looking forward to watching you because you're kind of coming off as the Draymond Green of the WNBA here with your dirty play. But what was crazy is, afterwards in the post game interview, like I said, Clark said that's not a basketball play. Chennedy Carter said, "I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions." So she's just completely deflecting, not taking accountability for this. But I mean, I guess why would she? Um, but yeah, that's probably the dirtiest play I've seen in the WNBA this year, and obviously there's been a lot of attention on Clark, so players and veterans are going after her specifically, trying to send a message. It's like, hey, we've been doing this for a while. You're bringing a lot of eyes to the league, but you're not as good as us yet. And they mentioned this on Pardon My Take, but it's kind of reminiscent of LeBron entering the league. Clark is, a good comparison in terms of the hype and, maybe even the performance prior to entering the league. But if you go back and you can find this interview of the Cavaliers in 2003, they're talking to all the current players, Carlos Boozer and all these guys, and they're asking him, oh, what do you think about LeBron? What kind of impact do you think he'll bring to the team? They're like, we already got a solid roster. I don't think he's going to come in and have the impact of a Caron Butler, great player, Caron Butler, but obviously he never had the impact that LeBron had. So I think Clark's experiencing a similar type of hate here. People trying to give her welcome to the WNBA moment. I don't know if Kennedy's play was that. I think the welcome to the WNBA moment was a hard screen she faced, which that one's that one might have been a dirty screen as well, but at least it was a basketball play. Kennedy, chill out. Um, but yeah, it seems like there's a lot of jealousy around Clark, and I get it. If you're a Las Vegas Aces player, you're looking at all the new viewership in your games. You're like, where the hell was this when we won back-to-back championships? So I get some of the frustration, but I mean, I think you should be happy that Caitlin's bringing more eyes to the game. And you look at a player like Shohei Otani in the MLB. I don't think Otani faced this kind of treatment when he vaulted to superstardom quickly in the MLB. I think a lot of players were grateful. Like, hey, we've been a little down in the ratings. The NFL obviously overtook them and never looked back, but when Otani got to the league, people started talking about baseball, and no one had talked about baseball in years. So I think a lot of people were grateful for the impact that Otani had in the game, and I think people should have a similar, gratitude towards Caitlin Clark. But I do agree we shouldn't give her WNBA flowers. She's greatest college player ever, but she has yet to prove in the WNBA. But unfortunately for Caitlin, she's gonna keep getting hip checked until she garners some respect, which is gonna be tough to do on a depleted Fever roster that I'm pretty sure is 1-9 right now, 1-10. So not great. But looking forward to tuning into a WNBA game at some point. I still haven't, but give me time, and give me a second here as I take a sip of this Totally Naked, a new Glarus beer. I don't normally drink on the podcast. I have in the past. It went poorly. I don't recommend it, but it is 3 a.m. So I'll definitely be up until 5 a.m. And my logic here is uh, I'm gonna feel like a real asshole if I'm drinking at 5 a.m. So I got to get all my drinking in between 3 and 5 here, and then I can stop drinking. So cheers to the WNBA, and cheers to the NHL. All them Molsons are flowing in Edmonton as they arrived in the Stanley Cup. And the obvious question here is, do the Edmonton Oilers have the best fans in the NHL? Resounding yes, absolutely. And I think we all know why. Um, wow, what a transition to go from WNBA to this. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a beautiful Oilers fan who flashed the entire arena. And I'm only saying this because I don't want people to I don't want people to go looking this up, this NSFW uh you know content from the Oilers. Um, but yeah, made me an Oilers fan, for sure. Um, But yeah, I'm gonna stick with my pick from last week. I'm gonna take the Oilers in 7. Connor McDavid begins to, well, he already has cemented his legacy, but further cementing his legacy as a champion in addition to being an MVP and the best player in the league. So go Oilers, and that fan, the famous fan, she should have free tickets the whole series. But um, she actually might be banned, although it is Canada, so maybe, I don't know what the Canadian rules on public indecency are. So um, so I'm gonna take a sip of beer. Um, and stop talking about this before I further incriminate myself. Let's talk some baseball. And it seems that I only bring up, the bad shit that happens in baseball because the good shit's boring, other than the goosebump moments of the week. Who doesn't love a walk off? But the question here for the MLB is, who is Tucupita Marcano? Apparently, he's an infielder for the San Diego Padres, or at least he was an infielder. And I'll just read it straight from the man himself, Jeff Passan. San Diego Padres infielder Tucupita Marcano is facing a potential lifetime ban for betting on baseball, sources tell ESPN. While Major League Baseball's investigation into Marcano is not complete, a penalty uh, as reported, could be imminent. A penalty? He's banned for life. That ain't no penalty. That's a death sentence. That's an exile. And the MLB's given him the Jonte Porter treatment. Obviously, this is far from the most interesting gambling scandal in the MLB. We're not still waiting to hear back on Otani because Ipe got convicted, guilty. He either took the fall or he stole a bunch of money from Otani. Jury's still out, but it's not because he's guilty. And this is why you shouldn't drink during a podcast. Totally Naked is a fantastic beer. It's like Spotted Cow Light. I love it. But on Tusapita, who I don't know if I care if I'm mispronouncing his name because he's the new Jonte Porter. And the MLB is using him to set an example here, and maybe try to deflect from the Otani situation with this. But astonishingly, Tusapita only won 4.3% of the bets he placed, and he placed more than 150K in bets, which is chump change compared to what our man Ipe Mizuhara was betting out of Otani's purse. Um, but yeah, sorry, Marcano. I think your time in the big leagues has ended. And someone whose time in the big leagues is just getting started is Justin Jefferson. And if you see the Packers helmet, the Packers banner, the Packers hat on my head, you're bound to get some biased ass takes about the Vikings. So my question here is Justin Jefferson overpaid? Probably. I don't know. He's probably worth it. I mean, I would argue he's the best receiver in the NFL, and if he's not the best, he's easily top 5, top 3. Um, he signed a deal for 4 years, $140 million. 110 million of that is guaranteed, and the insane part is that 88.7 million of that is due at signing. That's one hell of a signing bonus. And damn, you put that in a savings account, and in 20 years that turns into 120, whatever, how many million. Jefferson doesn't need that interest. He's a very rich man now, and he is now the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Somehow he's still making less per year than Daniel Jones and Derek Carr, which is ridiculous. but that's the market. Quarterbacks win championships. No, of course it's defense wins championships, but quarterbacks get paid. Um, but yeah, let's go with a Packer take here and go with the fact that yes, Justin Jefferson is overpaid. And you know, when you really break down the numbers, it's absurd and kind of infuriating as a broke man myself. But according to Martine O'Donnell, if we further break down Jefferson's salary, it would look like this: 729,000 per week, 104,000 per day, 4.3 thousand per hour, $72 a minute, or $1 per second. As I talk with my brother Jona later on in the show, I'm like, damn, he's making my paycheck in 20 minutes. He's like, what do you mean your paycheck? He's probably making double your paycheck. All right, he's making 2 of my paychecks plus tips from 2 weeks. And yeah, cries in poor, to put it in TikTok lingo. I wonder how unbearable the awkward pauses are for y'all. I had to chug this beer. Gotta crack another. Maybe we'll crack it in the microphone. Some nice ASMR. But yeah, I'm going off the rails already, as I do with my brother in a second. But let's do the segments. Today's first Your Interruption is presented to you by CJ Stroud. Him and his teammate Tank Dell went on the $1 million Worth of Game podcast, and Stroud was firing with the takes. He hit him with the Eli Manning's better than Aaron Rodgers. What? He's got 2 rings. Rodgers got 1. All right, that's fair enough. I'll let that one slide. But what I am not going to let slide is what CJ is about to say on the $1 million Worth of Game podcast. Here's first Your Interruption with CJ Stroud. Talk to him, CJ.
Stafford, hey, Stafford another one, bro. He might be up there with Brady and them, bro.
No, come on.
No,
bro.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
that
crazy.
was crazy.
Let me go back. Hey, because look, I'm a look, dog. Hold on, before you do all this shit, I'm a student of the game. Stafford a dog.
He
bro.
is a dog.
No, you don't understand, bro. You saying that? That's all I watch. I don't watch nobody else. I watch Mahomes at times because Mahomes does some stuff that like you can't coach. Stafford, dog. He will beat you with the same thing every time. All that no-lick stuff, I got that from bruh. Like, literally, that's one of my big, like, I'm a fan of his. Like,
And
when I
he's
go to
a great
LA,
quarterback.
I be trying to find, bro.
But
Like,
it's
we
a
got the same
level to
trainers. I be
greatness.
trying to, like, go to where they working out and just watch.
I feel what you're saying.
That's all I'm
He
saying.
elite, dog.
Like Charles Barkley.
If you hold on. If you give Matthew Stafford a chance like Aaron Rodgers, I guarantee he might have had more rings, for sure. I think Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford had more ring than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he have another ring probably.
I'd say he had like 3, 4.
He might. It's possible,
bro.
He good.
When you
But what
talk
I'm
about
saying is,
tough
it's
as
levels
nails,
of
dog.
greatness.
What are we doing here, CJ? What are you talking about? Talking out of your ass. Saying that Matthew Stafford, if he was put in Rodgers' position, would have 3 or 4 rings is ridiculous. Stafford played with a Hall of Fame wide receiver, and I agree the Packers are a much better situation, over their careers than the Lions were. The Lions had some terrible, terrible teams that Stafford had to deal with. But dude, if you really think about it, before time MVP Aaron Rodgers, yes, he had some stinkers in the playoffs, and yes, he should take his fair share of blame for, not having more success in Green Bay. But Rodgers carried some bad teams, some bad defenses. Like, Rodgers is sitting there like, how you expect me to win a playoff game when the defense gives up 40 points? That's ridiculous. Stafford wouldn't last a day in the asylum they raised Aaron Rodgers in, to quote Taylor Swift. But it's ridiculous, and I feel it's my duty as a Packers fan to defend Rodgers. And the phrasing that CJ used part of this was, I guarantee he might have had more rings. he might have not had more rings. And CJ's thinking here is obviously, hey, the second he left the Lions, the first year he went to the Rams, he won a Super Bowl. Great. But the Rams had a stacked roster. They had Aaron Donald, one of, if not the greatest. Okay, Reggie White, give him his respect, but Aaron Donald, first ballot Hall of Famer, what, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, one of the greats of all time. And in addition to that, he had Cooper Kupp, who won the Triple Crown that year. Cooper Kupp, who won the Super Bowl MVP. And, Odell Beckham Jr., who, yeah, he didn't finish the Super Bowl, but he had a huge touchdown in that Super Bowl. To suggest that Stafford, had he played for the Packers for a decade plus, would have even more than one ring is ridiculous. I don't even think he would have gotten one. Honestly, I think Stafford would have had 0 rings on the Packers. And yeah, maybe he still leaves to the Rams and gets that. But yeah, in my opinion, the Packers failed Rodgers more than Rodgers failed the Packers. So putting Stafford ahead of Rodgers is ridiculous. Rodgers had the lowest interception percentage in NFL history. Random stat to throw into you. Highest TD to interception ratio ever. I could go on and on with these stats, but I think all of us ball knowers know that Aaron Rodgers is better than Stafford, and I bet if you put Rodgers on the Lions, I bet he still wins a Super Bowl. That's how good Rodgers is, the 4-time MVP. Put some respect on his name and put some respect on my brother's name. Let's get to the interview. We got Jona Maurer in the house, exposing my last name, making me contemplate, getting rid of the Matt Clown emoji moniker, which would be great because what a mouthful. But yeah, Jona's a mouthful too. So I'll just leave it to Jona and his entertainment and expertise on the game. Give it up for Jona Maurer, ladies and gentlemen. Now pulling up to the pod is 3-time Trash Talk FIFA World Cup champion. It is my little brother, Jona Maurer. Welcome back to the pod, Jona. You're a recurring guest now. I shouldn't say that. That's a pardon my take thing, but I'm trying to. I need a name for someone who comes on twice. You're
Well, I
back.
mean, I sure go with that.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back on, bro. And I see that tall boy, Happy Dad. I'm hoping you're not nearly as drunk as you were last time because
Oh, no,
that
not
got a
even
little.
not even close. But I just needed a sip of that after that intro talking about my FIFA World Cups.
Yeah, I could explain the FIFA World Cup, but I'll save you the embarrassment because if you don't know what it means, it sounds good. It's like, damn, he's got 3 FIFA World Cups. Sheesh. All right, well, we're here to talk some basketball. Obviously, we got the NBA Finals coming up in a couple days here. Let's start with the conference championship. I talked a lot of NBA with Nemo. We didn't get as much into the conference championship, so I wanted to talk a little bit of it with you. Let's start with the Wolves Mavs series. Why do you think the Wolves struggled so much with the Mavericks in that series? They got hosed.
Well, I mean, to start things off, Cat shot 37% from the field,
From the
and
field?
yes, overall, that was his shooting percentage. So just that alone is obviously going to hurt your team, especially when he's taking 16 plus shots a game. I guess the average is lower than that, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it obviously when you got the Mavs double teaming Ant, and when their second option isn't doing anything, and you got to rely on a lot of these other guys that happen to be younger, other than like Mike Conley and like Kyle Anderson, but Kyle Anderson isn't going to go out there and get you buckets like that.
No,
So, I mean,
not quite.
I don't know. Like Cat's numbers were good, but his production was awful, and they just couldn't make anything happen when Ant was getting doubled, especially when Cat's shooting like he was.
Yeah. So I guess, a lot of it, obviously, people are talking about Cat's performance, which was not nearly good enough to even stay in that series. But obviously, it was like we thought the Wolves were the best defensive team, but they they couldn't stop anyone on the Mavericks. Nobody.
Yeah, no, I feel like their defense just overall went down the drain. But then along with that, they just had an absurd amount of turnovers. Like I think they were averaging somewhere around like 15 or something like that, which
Damn.
per game, and especially in the playoffs, you can't be doing stuff like that because that's going to cost you. Especially in those games, a lot of them ended up being pretty close. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like the Nuggets series where every other game somebody was winning by 20 points. But
Yeah. Well, speaking of close games, we'll talk a little bit about Pacers Celtics. Did you think at any point that the Pacers had a legit chance in that series?
absolutely not.
No. There's a bunch of close games.
This was the closest thing to. This is the closest thing to a COVID playoffs that we could have had.
Right. You didn't have to bring
That's
up the
that's what
the bubble.
that's what the East was this year with all the injuries and just all the missing pieces to all these teams.
It was the Mickey Mouse clubhouse.
That I mean, I am biased as a Bucks fan, obviously, but we all know if Giannis is healthy, the Pacers are not making it out round one.
Wait, you're a Bucks fan? I thought you were a fan of the Chicago Lonzos.
I'm Alonzo Ball. Shit, I might say super fan. I got 4 jerseys of his. Am I Alonzo super fan?
You never wear them. You just put them on the wall too.
Well,
Why don't you
yeah, but
wear
I
them?
also because I buy them from Chinese websites and they come in a size too small every time, so then they're just too tight on me.
You
So
gotta
then
hit
I
up
just
Timu. Timu is where it's at.
I dudes out here looking for a Timo sponsorship.
Dude, I got some sick Packers jerseys from Timu. I can't even
No, I'm
front.
not even gonna front. I gotta look. I gotta look at it because I need another or like an actual football jersey that I can wear. That's not my Bumblebee Antonio Brown jersey.
That one's sick though, and that one's aging real well. I know you're a big fan of like Antonio
Oh,
Brown, what he does off the field.
generational run right now. Absolutely, everybody's saying it. The whole world's talking about it.
He can't miss on Twitter, but yeah, as far as his life, maybe not so generational. I heard he might be
Yeah.
bankrupt, so but I
Well,
don't know.
he filed for bankruptcy, but I mean, in all cases, filing for bankruptcy isn't the worst thing in the world. But at the same time, his career earnings is absurd. So for somebody like that,
Yeah,
it's probably something to be a little concerned about, maybe.
yeah, it's tough. We love Antonio Brown. We're hoping success for CTESPN, but let's get back to some basketball. Um, more towards the regular season. Do you think Jokic deserved the MVP? Because you told me you wanted me to bring that up.
I no, no. I mean, like, yeah, they finished third, but he had a worse season than he did last year, and he wasn't the leading scorer or anything like that. Like let's look at his stats. His points per game 25.6, rebounds 11.5, assists per game 12.3. Which I mean, you can't really argue that.
Wait,
But
he
then you got
averaged a triple double?
wait, no, that can't be right.
That can't be it. No, I feel like we wouldn't have heard of that. But
Wait
you're
a second.
you're looking up his playoff stats or something. That would be pretty deserving, I think.
Well, yeah, I would agree with you there, but that's totally
One of the
okay.
assist rebound numbers is probably off.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right. But you don't think he deserved to win it? Who do you think should
Well,
have
no,
won it?
it should have been Shea. Like
Should have
Shea
been Shea.
just damn near beat him in every single one of those categories, and they won their division. Like they got number one in the West. Like
Yep.
it's supposed to go to the best player that's leading their team. Like
Hmm.
at this point, it's starting to turn into whoever wins the championship the year before. That's who they give it to, as long as they still have a solid year.
Yeah, NBA MVP is always so weird and political.
Yeah, like regular season points, Shea was averaging 33.9, Jokic 26, Luka 30, and then assists Shea 9.8, Jokic 9, Luka 6.2. And then it's just, I don't know. The numbers don't, it's
Yeah.
just pretty obvious to me that he should have gotten that award. But
Yeah, and it's like the Thunder had a good supporting cast, but they went from not being in the playoffs to being the 1 seed. It's like
yeah,
it's not
and
like
being
it's not
also
like
being
Chet
the youngest.
Holmgren is why they got him. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's a big part of it, but it was Shea.
Well, and they're also the youngest team in the NBA. Like they literally had I'm pretty sure they had a younger average age than the Wisconsin Badgers did this past season.
You're just fucking with me.
I literally think that might be.
Oh, that's insane.
But
I don't
if you think about the players on that team and think about the Badgers roster, it doesn't sound very surprising,
That
does it?
doesn't sound that
Like
far fetched.
no, it doesn't.
We got a couple fifth years, 6th years maybe.
And there's no problem with that. I'm just saying, like
Ain't,
it's just an insanely young team.
ain't nothing wrong with that. Shout out Carter. Um, but let's
Goat,
talk GOAT. Carter
Arrowhead goat.
Goat more. But let's talk some NBA finals here. Now that we're done with that. Let's just start it off with what's your official prediction, and then we can kind of go from there. See what you think.
I'm between game 6 and 7, but I've got Mavs.
Mavs
I
in 6 or 7.
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'll go 7.
Okay. I
I
like
think
that
I'll
too. I
go
think that might
7.
be my pick as well.
But like I feel like I just keep picking these games of what I want to see versus what I like. Although I don't know, I think this one's actually gonna happen because I'm trying to.
I feel like that's how I've been picking games every single week on this show, and I'm always wrong every
Yeah,
time.
well, that's how I did it for the conference finals, and I could not have been more wrong for most of it.
Yeah, only one who got it right was Goose. Shout out Goose. Um, but so yeah, you got the Mavericks, but did you consider this could be the Kristaps Porzingis revenge series? Did you consider that? He did play for the Mavs at one
Have
point.
you considered that this is a Kyrie Irving revenge series?
Yeah, I did think
What
about
are you
that as
talking
well.
about? Right now, all I'm seeing on my social media feed is a video of when Kyrie was on the Nets. He walked up to the little leprechaun in the middle of the floor and stomped on it.
Yep.
Kyrie is gonna come in here and try to humiliate every single person on that court.
And then he's gonna laugh at the fans in their face. He's gonna do what Luca's been doing, just staring
Oh
at the
no,
fans. And
that's why I think he's had so much composure throughout the playoffs so far because he's like Boston's got to walk to the finals. We're gonna get there. We're gonna figure out how to get there, and I'm gonna go there. And he's gonna go off.
I
I
think so too. I think so too. But
I
you don't think Porzingis has any bad blood with Dallas? You don't think there's any extra motivation
oh
for him?
I think there's absolutely bad blood there, but I think there's more bad blood from Dallas towards Porzingis than there is from Porzingis towards Dallas
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I saw like Chandler
because
Parsons said they had like Luca and him had a rocky relationship, but then Luca like responded to it and said, I've only talked to Chandler Parsons like twice in my whole life. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
well, yeah, and like I agree with that, but like obviously Porzingis comes in and like being another European, you just assume they're going to click like that. And like Porzingis went to Dallas and did absolutely nothing that he's done for any other. Like he did probably played his worst basketball in Dallas.
Hmm.
I mean I don't actually know the numbers, but obviously they didn't do anything with that team, and it's not like he's a bad player by any means.
Right.
So I just think that ended pretty badly. So I think the Mavs are kind of going to go after him. And do we even know how when he's coming back or how
He's
many
playing. They said
he's
he's
game
ready for
one?
game one. Yep.
Oh, okay.
They just reported it today.
So that'll I guess.
They're gonna need him
Well, no,
because
I don't disagree, but I also don't think he's going to be like the X factor for the Celtics. Like I
okay.
just think he's kind of going to be there, just like Al Horford has kind of been there.
Yeah. Well, that's a great segue. I wanted to do a new segment. Would you like to do a new segment
Oh shit!
presented by
Oh
Nolan?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, run it.
This segment is called X Factor. So in your mind, who's the X Factor on the Mavericks? Who's the X Factor on the Celtics this series? We all know the big names.
And because of the beef, I'm obviously going Kyrie. Like you already heard me saying
Wait, but
everything I was.
like I don't know if I really think of X Factor like that.
Oh,
Because
oh, you
like
want the? I
it's kind of
got
like
you. I got
outside of
you.
the, we know the four big stars, Kyrie, Luca, Jason, and Jalen. But like outside of them, who do you think's gonna be that impact player on both sides of the series?
I'll take Gafford because he's been
Gafford.
playing. Yeah,
Okay,
he
that's a
he is
surprising answer to me.
he has been playing some absolutely ridiculous defense
Hmm.
throughout these playoffs, and like he's had a little bit of injury problems. I think he got like hit to the back of the head or something. It wasn't like a concussion, but like,
I think that was Lively actually,
oh
who got
yeah, that
hurt,
was that
who got
was. But
concussed.
yeah, you're right actually. But no, I do think it's Gafford because I mean, obviously with Lively out, he had to step up,
Hmm.
and he's been playing great, doing exactly what he's supposed to do. So I think he's going to be that guy, and especially with Porzingis coming back, they're going to need him more than ever.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like him and Porzingis are like the only two true bigs in the series. They like Al Horford's playing the four, but he's like, I don't know. I mean, Al Horford
Well,
can
and
play
that's
power forward, but
and
he's
and
not a
that's another
traditional
thing
big.
is obviously all year the Celtics have been successful, like having the best record in the league and everything, but they've been playing for how long without Porzingis in the lineup, and they've been doing just fine.
Two or three series. Yeah. No, it's
What
true.
what did they lose 2 games up to this point?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
like how much are they really going to put Porzingis like back into play? Like because I don't know, you kind of see that happen. Players get back from injuries, and obviously they don't want to rush anything, and or the team has just been violent without you, and that's sucks to suck, but it
Yeah. Well,
happens.
no, I mean, they're gonna need him. Otherwise, Gafford and Lively are gonna get 25 rebounds a game on him.
I I think so too because
Yeah.
Horford cannot keep up with both of those young guys. If
No.
Horford's the only big guy they have, I mean, they've got the Luke Cornett guy, which I mean, he's a 7-footer. He can go get you some rebounds, but he's
How tall
not
is Sam Hauser? Or he's like not even
six
really playing that
eight,
much.
six
Okay.
ten,
So he's
maybe.
like,
No, he was getting some minutes.
okay. Well, I mean, that might have been
Maybe
because
he's taller.
Porzingis was out. But okay.
He's
So you,
6'7".
okay. Okay. Not as tall as I thought.
Yeah, so
But
he's
okay.
small
So
forward.
you have Daniel Gafford as your X factor for the Mavericks, going to be, huge defense in the paint, getting rebounds, taking Porzingis out of it, all that kind of stuff. Who's your X factor for the Boston Celtics?
I'm between two guys, which it's obviously pretty simple, I think, between Derek White and Drew. But I'm
Okay.
gonna go with I'm gonna go with Drew because they're gonna need him big time, whether it's locking down Kyrie or Luca or both of them.
Probably both.
He's
Yeah.
and I mean honestly, in the last series, he had a few big games scoring wise, so he's gonna need to be locked in if the Celtics want to have a chance at this. But I I think he will be. Being a Bucks fan, I've seen him do it before. I think he can do it again.
Yeah, I think Drew and Kyrie are the only players in the series that already have won a championship. So Drew's gonna be a huge leader for them. I don't
Yeah,
think there's
no,
anyone
that's.
else.
I'm trying to think of like older guys deep on benches. Yeah,
I don't think
Horford's never won
Horford,
one.
he doesn't have a ring, I don't think.
Yeah,
But
no, that would
yeah,
be.
so you got Mavs in seven. I think I'm gonna go with that. I think I like that. I think it's gonna be a tight series. I should have prepared more questions on the series, but we did kind of do like I don't know. I talked to Nemo last week about the NBA finals, and that was
Mhm.
like the whole interview. We can talk some other uh sports here.
Wait,
Um
wait. I got one question
y-
though.
yeah,
How do
yeah.
you think? Like? How do you think the Mavs match up with Tatum?
Ooh.
Because Jalen Brown is, he's all over the place for me. I think there's people that can guard him, but Tatum's different. Like
Yeah, that's tough.
who on the Mavs do you
Uh,
see guarding Tatum? That's the
Derek
only
Derek
that's the
Jones Jr. Maybe, maybe him. Maybe
yeah. But you really think you're gonna have Derek Jones Jr. on Tatum for 48 minutes of
no,
basketball and he's not gonna
no.
drop 35, 40
I don't know.
points?
You think Lively could match up with him?
I think Lively would fall 5 times in that game if he was matched up with him that whole
Oh,
time.
damn. Okay, wait. So
And
starting
like
five is Luke.
And Lively's really good, but like Lively's not meant to be like Tatum can be considered a guard in some aspects if you want, but like that's my one thing about this series is like I can't really think of somebody that's actually like a perfect matchup for Tatum.
I guess.
Like
Well, it's
PJ
got to be a.
Washington is pretty good, I
You know who could
guess.
guard him? You know who might guard him a little bit is off the bench would be Tim Hardaway, right? He could do a little
Oh yeah,
Tatum
Tim.
defense.
How tall is Tim Hardaway? I think he's actually pretty tall.
He's got some height. I think he's 6'5". Probably not as tall as Tatum. But yeah, no, I think Hardaway off the bench and yeah, like it that's a good point. I mean, they don't like as much as people are worried about how to guard Luca and Kyrie, the Mavericks should be maybe even more worried about guarding Tatum because I think the Celtics have better defenders.
Yeah, I complete. That's the thing is I think the Celtics have overall better role players
Hmm.
and everything.
Yeah.
I think the star power is obviously more on the Mavs, but it's like the Tatum thing just really when I was actually thinking about that today, it really threw me off.
Yeah, no, that'll be interesting. Well, it should be an interesting series. Like I said, you got Mavs in seven. I got Mavs in seven. So I
Ooh,
guess go Mavericks. But
yep.
what's
I
up?
I I think I'm with you, but also um I think Hardaway is actually a pretty good matchup
Yeah.
because Tatum's 6'8", but it's not like I mean 3 inch difference is a difference, but like yeah,
He
like
can
I
he can
said,
stick with them
I
defensively.
think Gafford will be down there to help him if he gets blown by type shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this will actually be a really good final. So I'm excited.
I know. I'm excited and I'm probably jinxing it by saying this, but like I'm excited to watch a series that doesn't have six blowouts. You know,
Yeah,
I feel like
and
there hasn't really been too many series that have been. I guess anytime the Knicks played, but other than the Knicks, there's no series that were really that close. There was just 20
well the
point blowouts in every one.
well that's the thing is because like the East alone, like the Celtics were gonna obviously run through everybody, and I feel like the rest of the games were kind of pretty close for the most part.
Hmm. Yeah, should be
But
interesting to see. Yeah. But yeah, anything else on the finals? Otherwise, we can move on to some other sports here.
ooh, well, I guess who would be your finals MVP if it
Oh,
goes if it goes how we think it's gonna
ooh.
go?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go Kyrie. I'm gonna go Kyrie.
Well, I think that was gonna be my pick too, but if I did have to choose something different,
I wonder who you would go with.
nah, give me Daniel Gafford.
Okay, give me Iguodala. You just turned into Max Kellerman there for a
Yeah,
second.
yeah. No,
That's
wait, no,
great.
then I'll just choose if
I'll go Kyrie.
win if Celtics win, I think it's Tatum because I genuinely will be I'm very interested to see how the Celtics and
Defend
or I
him.
guess how the
Oh, the
Mavs
Mavericks.
defend
Yeah.
him.
No, this is a Tatum legacy series for sure. If he wins Finals
Oh,
MVP,
absolutely.
a whole lot of people, including myself, are gonna have to shut their mouth.
Bro, one thing I wanted to happen so bad was the Timberwolves to win a chip. So then Rudy Gobert has a ring and he's got all these defensive players of the year. So then you have to have some uncomfortable ass conversation.
Rudy Gobert or Hakeem Olajuwon. Come on now, bro. He can't score. But no, yeah, in terms of,
Yeah,
maybe greatest defender ever, could be. But yeah,
that that that
when
was
you're
that would have been a fun what if, but
yeah, but not so fun when you're getting switched on to Luka Doncic with 5 seconds left in the game. That's not so fun.
he got
Um,
cooked.
but yeah, that was NBA Finals with Jana. Let's talk a little Stanley Cup. Neither of us know anything about hockey. I really wanted to have Poker Perry on to talk about it. Maybe I'll get him on next week. I know he's a busy man. Maybe we can break down some games then. But real briefly on the Stanley Cup, because we obviously have zero knowledge, to be honest. Who you got in the Stanley Cup? Do you know who's playing in the Stanley
I
Cup?
do, I
Okay.
do. We got
All
we
right.
got the Panthers and the Oilers,
All
right?
right.
Right?
Yep.
Am
Yep.
I all right? So I don't I don't know much other than obviously like I know some like big name players, and I looked at a few stats or whatever and how teams have been playing throughout the playoffs.
Sure.
So basically, the only thing that I'm getting is Connor McDavid is really good at hockey,
Yeah.
and that the Panthers have really good defense.
Uh-huh.
So I guess I got to choose offense or defense here. And I think I'm going to choose. I think I'm going to go with. I don't know. I don't. I'm going to go.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah, I'm going to go with defense because I feel like that's where more checking comes from, and I like hockey fights. So we're going to go with the Panthers.
All right.
Although,
In how many
although I
games?
shit, how many games is a hockey
It's the
series?
same. It's the same as it's the same as
Well, they
baseball
just
and basketball. It's
no.
7.
I guess I should have assumed that, but they played. I don't know, 60 minutes of that shit is insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, let's go. Let's go. We'll go six. McDavid's a dog. We'll go six.
All right. All right. I'm gonna go Oilers in 7 because McDavid's the GOAT and I really like I'm a big fan of one of the Oilers fans. So
See, I was
I'm
I
gonna
was
root for
debating
them.
whether or not to put that into my prediction as well, but
I'm gonna I'm gonna have that as like first year interruption this week. I'm gonna have that as the clip.
bro, I was watching the Yak before this, and Big Cat was talking about like inviting her on like a podcast or to like a boys' weekend or something, and I was geeking.
Wait, was he talking about inviting her to Dude Fest?
Yes, yes, he was talking about inviting her to Dude Fest.
She's not a dude. At least, well,
Well, and
I
that's
don't
the
think she
thing.
is.
Well, they were talking about it, and then I feel bad for forgetting her name because I actually think she's really funny. What's the girl's name on the Yak?
The girl's name. I don't know, bro. I don't watch the Yak.
Oh,
I only
okay.
watch
Well, she was
PMT.
like, "Yeah, dude's weekend sounds so much fun." And then they all just looked at her. They're like, "Nah, nah." And then they started talking about inviting this Oilers fan. And I was like, "Oh,
Uh, Uncle Danny and Mary are watching, wondering what Oilers fan are they talking about?
they're about to Google it." And oh, I shouldn't have said that. You should cut that out so they
Don't
don't Google it.
don't Google it. Um, yeah, don't Google it. All right, let's move on before we talk too much about that. I wanted to get into some NBA draft talk with you, but kind of same thing as hockey. I don't know anything about it. I think Alex Sarr is going first, and then we got Dillingham is good, and Bronny James, Zach Edey. That's all I know. I don't know shit about the draft. Do you have any thoughts?
So I like when you brought this up to me earlier. I was like, I obviously this year you don't really hear any big like it's not like a Victor Wembanyama or like a Zion year, even like a Tatum and Luca year where it's just an absolutely stacked draft class.
Mm-hmm.
But like obviously like you said, Alex Sarr, like 19-year-old 7-1, like overseas, obviously playing against great
Mini Wemby.
competition. Yeah. Well, mini Wemby saying mini Wemby is insane when
Yeah,
dude's
that's
7-1.
crazy. Just record. Say that about anyone.
Literally. But no, I mean he'll be a I mean, I don't I
Is he
kind of
play
compare
center?
him.
Is he a guard?
No, he's not a guard. I mean, he's not as shifty as Mobley. I would honestly, or as Wemby, I would kind of compare him more to a Mobley.
Okay.
Although I don't know if he can stretch the floor as much as Mobley can, because Mobley's actually developed a pretty decent 3-point shot, or I guess just has always had one type deal. But
Mhm.
I
Okay.
don't know. The other guy that I really like is the dude from Colorado, freaking Tristan De Silva.
Newton. Oh, just
No,
still from Colorado. Okay.
yeah, because I had to write that. Well, I guess this is more of just me liking him as a Bucks fan because he's a bigger guy that plays good defense and he shoots almost 40% from three.
Speaking
So
of the Bucks, you know who I think would be a perfect fit for the
don't
Milwaukee
say it.
Bucks?
Don't say it.
Zach Edey.
You're a piece of shit.
He would be
Shut up.
so good on the
That
Bucks,
is the
dude.
worst
He'd be
possible player
perfect.
we could put on the Bucks.
He'd be the
That is
perfect Brooke
literally
Lopez
no. That is
replacement.
literally a downgrade of Brooke Lopez, and that would make our team worse if that's even possible.
Dude, Edie can shoot threes. His coach just never let him. He's dynamite from the free throw line.
Please tell me that's not like a real take that people have out there. Is that he
No,
can
it's not a
shoot
take.
threes,
It
but
was
his coach.
there was an interview with Zach Edey and they asked him about it. He's like, I can shoot the three really well. It's just my coach never let me.
That is bullshit.
You don't
If
believe Zach?
Zach if Zach Edey had shoot 20% from no, if Zach Edey could shoot 25-30% from three, they would have spread the floor with that motherfucker. What are you gonna do in a giant? What? How tall is he?
Yeah,
Seven, seven something.
you're like if he could
That
have, why
thick
didn't
shooting
they?
three. He can back you down from three if he wants to. Otherwise, he'll shoot that. Like
That's true.
no,
Do
no,
some
that is
post moves behind the arc.
just absolute cap.
Okay. Well, speaking of cap, probably last thing on the draft here. Do you think Bronny is getting drafted?
Yeah, he'll get drafted because I mean you can't. Did you look at his combine numbers at all or anything? No.
I No, because like I've seen his college numbers. I still I mean I understand what's happening, but it just seems like he's kind of getting pushed into the league before he's ready.
I I can understand how you say that, but like obviously his dad is his dad. So
Yeah.
dude has been he's been a pro since high school as far as I'm concerned. Like he's been
Fair.
around his dad's NBA career his entire career, probably playing pickup games and one-on-one against rookie Kyrie and all this bullshit. Like all these great players that LeBron
Yeah.
has played with. Like he's been able to pick the minds of the best basketball players on the planet. Obviously, his dad is my personal goat, however else everyone else wants to phrase it.
Oh, I didn't know
But
you
like
thought that.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Um, but
Surprising to
no,
hear that from a Bulls fan.
I'm not. I am a Bucks fan and a Lonzo stan.
Bucks fan, Lonzo Stan. So if Lonzo is healthy next year and the Bucks and the Bulls play in a playoff series, who
Bucks.
you're rooting for the Bucks?
I'm rooting for the Bucks, but if the
Hmm.
Bulls win, I will put on a Lonzo Ball jersey.
Right after. All right,
No,
fair
no, no,
enough.
no. Not right after. I'll probably let that shit stew for a little bit. But like depending on who's left, actually no, I'll be cheering for Lonzo. I actually no, I won't put the jersey on, but like I'm gonna cheer for Lonzo to put up numbers.
I haven't checked I haven't checked any updates recently on his injury. I do have him on my dynasty fantasy
Oh,
basketball team.
he,
Do you think Lonzo could play next year?
yeah, he's dunking again.
Oh,
He's hooping. He's playing a little bit of one-on-one. You
what
got
do
to
you have
listen.
like a torn ACL or something worse?
So he literally had to. I want to get this completely right because I love that man.
Sure. Big
Um,
ball of brand.
he legitimately had to get a piece of his knee replaced. Like they just put a whole chunk of
That's
knee
steel knees now.
in place for it.
Okay. Dang.
So I
Dang.
don't Like he literally had to get like a freaking meniscus donor or some shit. Like I don't know the actual like ligament or whatever he needed, but like he
Yeah.
straight up had to get a donor for this ligament.
Yeah, it was a seriously career-threatening injury.
Oh no, yeah, and that's the thing is like he and like he talked about on his podcast, he injured this same ligament like four times in his career, and it was only like he didn't get injured until he got to the NBA. And it was the same thing every single time when he was out for an extended period of time, and then he literally just said, "Screw it, I'm getting a new one."
Oh.
So I mean, I didn't know that this whole time. I just thought he was literally done for. But I guess once you put it
Dunzo ball,
completely,
as they say.
cut it out, cut it out. We don't need none of that.
I don't know who. I think I heard that from Gundy. Oh, but
Oh wait, also I got one more take on another guy that I want the Bucks to take.
okay.
Courtesy, like I knew of him, but
Jack Golke.
no, although
No.
no, but no. So I was talking to Don the other day
Okay.
about like who like he thinks the Bucks should take, and he put me on to Deron Holmes,
Okay. All
and
right.
like I like knew of him,
Where's he
but
from?
dude, I think it was UConn.
Okay.
Um,
So he's a
but
champion.
oh yeah, he got the. Oh no, shit, no, he ain't no champion.
Where'd he go?
Dayton, but no, he averaged like 18 points, 7 boards, and shot like 39% from three. And he's just a lot more athletic than the other guy that I was. Actually, I don't know. I guess it's kind of
Sure.
a toss up, but like
Bro,
I don't know. The Bucks just need something like that.
I shouldn't have burped into the microphone. Sorry, folks. Um,
Although
but
I know.
we
Wait,
should
Matt.
go.
Oh wait, never mind. That was a stupid question.
I was gonna
Uh,
ask you a stupid question. Let's go back to Bronny. Who do you think's taking him? Because you said you think he's getting drafted. Do you think there's a certain team that's looking for the 2-for-1 deal?
that's the thing that I don't know because I genuinely don't think the 2-for-1 thing is like a because LeBron is on contract right now, is he not? Or can he technically
He has an
opt out?
option. He has an option, yeah.
So he can, as soon as the draft is over, he can just dip from the Lakers.
Yeah, it's kind of up to him. Dude,
And
The
like I
Bucks should
guess a
draft
team could
Bronny.
do that. I would honestly love Bronny on the Bucks, but we need a big before we need a damn guard.
Well, LeBron will play the 4 for you guys. Put Giannis at the 3. No, that doesn't make much sense.
No, we'd have to
But
put Giannis at center.
you put Giannis
Giannis
at
at
center.
center, Bron at
Bron.
4, Bronny at shooting guard, K mid at
Yeah,
small forward, and
because
Dame
Bron.
at. Okay, we're
Yeah,
not
because
starting
Bron.
Bronny. We're not
You
starting Bronny.
could. Do you think he'll ever be a starter in the NBA?
Yes, yes,
Really? That you said
Matt.
that with
He.
confidence.
Oh my gosh, absolutely, Matt. Like he had a compared to everybody else in this draft. Granted, it's not a good draft class. He put up good, if not great, numbers at the combine,
Sure.
and like even his own like when they hold their own workouts and everything, like he did great there. Like he was hitting hella shots. I guess the only thing that I have seen is that his like release is very slow, which
Ooh,
kind of I kind of agree with.
that's tough. And he's what,
But
6'3"? Not the tallest fork in the drawer.
6'3", 6'4", but he's also got like a 43.5-inch vertical or some bullshit like that.
Ooh,
Matt,
dang.
he had like the he was like
Brody's
top
got
five.
hops.
He was top 5 in this draft class for vertical.
All right. Well, hey man, I hope the Bucks draft him so I can become a Bucks fan and never look back. But that's
Oh,
probably
because
not
then
gonna happen.
he would probably be under contract with. Wait, so when LeBron retires, are you a fan of whatever team Bronny's on?
I still have to think about that, but probably I gotta remain loyal to Bron and root on his son, right? I don't know. I might be a free agent when he retires. I don't know. I gotta think this out. We can talk about this another time. I could talk about this for a while. I'm sure. You look flabbergasted.
I like I I kind of get it and
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Like you've hopped around plenty of teams, so that's obvious, but
Three.
you've stayed consistent.
Yeah.
Well, I mean 3 teams, but technically 4 different.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a lost man when LeBron retires. I'm gonna have some soul searching to
Don't
do.
worry, you got like 8 more years.
But yeah. All right. So I do want to finish out the show with some NFL, but before we talk some NFL, I had to ask you, how are you feeling about this fantasy baseball season?
I need to start setting my lineup, dude.
Quad sent a message in the group chat today. He's like, "How am I losing to this?" And it just showed your lineup had 3 empty slots, like 2 guys on IL, like, and you're still beating him.
So can I set my like when do you set your lineup? Like 10 a.m. every morning, or do you
Whenever I
just not set?
remember, bro. No, you know what
Okay.
you know what you have to do. Oh, you're
Well,
thinking you gotta
every
check it
time.
every day. No, what you gotta do is you gotta set it for like a week at a time. But you gotta go up, press the arrow. So you go from today to tomorrow, set it again, and then you click through the whole week. You have to set it for every day. You thought you could just leave it for the whole week?
Bro, that's how you do it?
Quad. Quad, this is the guy that's beating you, and this is the guy that's in
No,
first place in your division. He doesn't
you're
even know how to
lying.
he
That's
doesn't
not
even know
how
how to
you
set it.
do
Just
it.
look at it. Look at it.
I'm opening it up
Look
right
at it
now.
and
Hey, look
press
at
the
that. That's
arrows.
a dub. That's a dub. I haven't even opened it this week.
Yeah, you beat
Matt,
me.
that was from March 24th. That's the last time.
Oh, it's showing you all the old ones. So you gotta scroll
Yeah,
through all your dubs and your L's. But no,
there's a
yeah,
few
that's
of them.
you gotta set it you gotta set it like one week at a time because no one's I mean, I'm sure Peter Brand's probably out here checking his
That's
lineup
insane.
every
How do you
week.
wait? So you go to edit lineup?
No, before that, you switch. Before you go to edit lineup, there's 2 arrows at the
Yeah.
top between today. You scroll through those arrows, and that's you can set a lineup on a different day.
So you have to set a lineup every single day
Yeah,
for
but
so
you
one
can
day
do it.
you can just set it for a week.
Yeah, well, you I at one point I did it where I set it for like 3 weeks ahead of time, and then I got to now, and I'm like, oh shit, I've not been setting it. But I just
That's
picked up Willie
insane.
Adamas, go crew. But yeah,
Well,
how do you
no.
feel about the fantasy baseball season? You are in first place in your division, despite the fact that you didn't even know how to to play.
Oh no, I'm not gonna lie. I feel a lot better now that I like
Now that you know how to do
go on
it.
it once a week type deal and set it for the week because that was like my
Yeah.
biggest frustration with this one.
Setting it for 162 games is just a pain in the A.
I mean, even though you kind of already have to do that either way, but you can at least do it in one sitting.
I mean, you don't have to. Like I said, you can do it ahead of time, but
Yeah.
that's way too much fantasy baseball talk. No offense to all the bleacher bums. But let's finish out the show, finish out the official Jona Maurer interview. Um, by the way, I think I might get rid of the clown emoji thing now that you've been on here twice. People know my last name now. So like I don't, what's the point? Right?
I guess you should have just called me Jana the whole time.
It's too late for that. It's too late for that. I'm
I
I'm
didn't
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
put
know
Jona Maurer as the title of this one.
I didn't know you were hiding your last name from the world.
Uh, I wasn't hiding my last name from the world. I was hiding the, the world from my last name. That
You
that's a
mean
Dr- that's a
he was hiding his little girls from the world, you mean?
that's a Drake quote, and that's way too on the nose. How does
And Drake is a certified pedophile. What are you talking
how
about?
certified
How are
lover boy?
you
How does
how are you
Drake somehow get brought up on every one of my shows? I don't even talk about rap music or it's just sports, and
you brought
somehow I
him
keep
up?
bringing him. I didn't bring him up. Oh, I did. I said the quote.
You
My
did.
bad. Screw
Stay
Drake.
away from that man. He's
Screw
not in the best
Drake.
crowd right
Obviously.
now.
All right. All right.
He also got cooked on that. You agree, right? Kendrick murdered him on
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Multiple times
that.
Kendrick murdered him. Kendrick
That
killed him like 3 times.
no, he what Kendrick did is like so you know how like houses are in like a roundabout like sometimes. So instead of all the houses being on the outside, Drake's house was in the middle of the roundabout and Kendrick was just driving around shooting at it the whole time. That's how bad it was.
It's crazy. The term you're looking for is spinning the block, I believe. I believe that's what it's called.
Spun that bitch infinity.
He spun the roundabout all right. I don't know how we got here, but let's finish with some NFL. You are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, die hard. So I have to ask you, I know my answer to this, but I'm curious to hear your answer. Who should the Steelers start?
It's not a real question.
Yeah, it is.
You start the established guy with a ring.
Okay, because I think they should start Fields.
How?
I think at this point in their career, Fields is a better player. If you look at the passing stats from last year, Wilson was a better passer, but Wilson hasn't been good for 2 years, obviously. Yes, he has a ring, but
2 years. What do you Matt? His numbers, both of those years, have been great. And like I always
you're trying to
shit
talk
on it.
yourself into
No,
him,
no,
I
no,
think.
no. Hear me out. I live with a Broncos fan, so I was forced to watch a lot more Broncos football than I ever wanted to watch. And Russell Wilson was never the problem on those teams.
Interesting.
Like he would put up numbers, but Matt, look at it. Their defense, they lost by 45, 50 to the Dolphins.
70 to 20, 70, yeah, 70 to 20. I think
Their
they
their
lost by
defense let up seven. Okay, granted, I don't know. There's probably a pick six in there or some shit if you're losing by that bad, but
I don't even think there
still,
was. I think it was all
no,
offense.
I literally think Devon A-Chain, Mostert,
Mostert and H&N had like 2 or 3 tutties apiece. Robbie Chosen had a tutty in that game. But
forgot he
okay,
changed his
that's
last
I
name
don't
to
know.
that.
I don't know. I thought this
I
it makes sense now that you say it, but I don't know. I kind of don't envision a world where Fields doesn't start at least one game this year,
no, and
especially looking at how you guys handled quarterbacks last year, where you're
no,
not
and
afraid to sit a guy.
I do agree with you there because like okay, the facts are that obviously Fields is young, Wilson is a vet, and they're gonna give the established vet the chance first. But as soon as he can't put some shit together on offense and or we're losing games, obviously, yeah, they've got another quarterback in their QB room that they can toss in there and probably feel maybe just as comfortable about. Obviously, the game plan is going to change a little bit because he's got a little more wheels and probably less of an arm. But
Well, yeah, that was kind
I,
of part of my point too, is like part of what made Wilson so good for so long was that it wasn't his rushing ability, but his ability to extend plays. And I think
mhm.
he's lost a little bit of that, and
he,
Fields obviously still has it.
I would agree. And like that's the thing is I think we play with Wilson and I think we'll be successful because of the fact that we won plenty of games last year with Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, and Zach Rudolph at quarterback.
Maya
And the
Rudolph,
only, or yeah, Mason Rudolph. My
Mason
bad. Who
Rudolph.
cares? Maya. All right.
You got to
But
confuse with Zach Wilson for a second there, I
um,
think.
but no, and the only reason we won those games was because of our defense, which was injured all throughout the year between Minka. I don't think TJ was actually injured last year, but Cam Hayward was out just about all year. In
Yeah.
our defense, we added two prominent cornerbacks. We added Patrick Queen, and
Yeah.
now we're gonna have a healthy TJ, a healthy Cam Hayward, and a healthy Minka Fitzpatrick.
No, I think
That
Steelers are going to be great this year because if your quarterback play improves marginally, and if well, actually the issue here is probably going to be Arthur Smith because
yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do. I hope it's not some shit he did with the Falcons because he didn't use a single weapon that he fucking had. Oh, swear jar. Sorry, Pete. I feel like I've been doing good on that this one now.
bomb jar.
But I also I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not scared about the quarterback room or the quarterback situation. I'm scared about our wide receiver situation, Matt.
Because it's GP and no one else. Okay, but um, who's your starting running back? That's another interesting starter question for you guys.
It'll be Najee, but knowing the Steelers, it's probably going to be some bullshit where they fade him out and start feeding Warren.
Do you think that's what they should do? Because I kind of think they should. I
I
like
don't.
Warren. You don't
I
like Warren
don't.
like that?
No, I love Warren. I
You don't think he's
love
better than
Warren.
Najee?
Look at Najee's numbers over the last every year of his career. He's been over 1,000 yards every single season.
Okay. I don't know. It's
Like
just the eye test. You kind of
he's
watch
no,
Warren,
that's
you're like,
I mean,
he's
yeah,
way
he's not a
faster.
well,
Maybe
that's the
being
thing. It's
faster
like
doesn't mean you're a better player, obviously, but
right now, can we like the hype in the NFL when it comes to running back is a guy like Saquon Barkley, a guy like Bijan Robinson, the quick guys that are making the quick hop steps and everything. Najee isn't that. Like he's gonna try to run you over or jump over you type deal. Like he's not
yeah.
gonna try to juke around you like that. And that's exactly what Jalen Warren is. So that's where that all kind of comes from. Not to mention the Steelers fucking signed Cordell Patterson. and and
He's
he's
gonna be a
listed.
great backup kick returner when Justin Fields is returning.
Oh, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. But no, like Cordell Patterson isn't even listed as a wide receiver either. And we have George Pickens, Van Jefferson, Roman Wilson, Quez Watkins, and Calvin Austin the third.
Hmm. George Pickens 2,000-yard season incoming. Pickens is gonna be getting triple teamed, bro, with that room. No offense, but
that's the thing. Is I wouldn't be surprised if we're out here running a 2 running back backfield at all times. or shit, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields along with Najee Harris.
Run a
Like
2
what the
QB
fuck?
system.
The ball's going straight to Najee, and both the quarterbacks are crossing. You don't know who's getting the ball.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are gonna have to run the ball a lot this year, it sounds like. But enough on the Steelers. Just quick question, and then I'm gonna ask you for a way too early Super Bowl prediction. You think Justin Jefferson's overpaid?
No.
No.
Well, no. The Vikings had no option, and he's clearly the best wide receiver
What's he
in
making
the
now?
NFL.
$500 a second?
No, it's not. It's not
No,
that
it
much.
is.
So
No, it is.
no. Well, that's full contract.
Oh, okay.
All of that isn't guaranteed. Of guaranteed
Sure.
money, he's making 27.5 mil a year, 2.29 mil a month, $75,000 a day, $3,000 an hour, and $52.29 a minute. So dude sleeps 6 hours and
makes a bag.
It makes 18 plus $1,000.
Making my paycheck in 20 minutes. Son of a bitch. But yeah. I just got one more. What's up?
He's making $52 a minute. I was gonna say your paycheck in 20 minutes. That dude in 20 minutes is making a shitload of money.
I started work in the morning. They give you a higher rate then, but
whatever. Yeah, you're right.
We don't have to get into that, but
saying 52 times 20 is 100 or $1,040. That's what he makes in 20 minutes.
All right. So two of my paychecks plus tips in 20 minutes. All right. Screw Justin Jefferson. Go Pack. But
he's the best wide receiver in the league. He deserved it. Although they needed to hang on to something because what the fuck is JJ McCarthy going to be?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. JJ to JJ, dude.
Who's
JJ connection? Come on.
Who's the dude they signed that Andrew saw at the bar?
Sam Darnold?
Jets? Yeah. I think it's Sam Darnold season, baby.
Hope he didn't get mono from him. But all right, last question for you here. And thank you again for pulling up to the pod. I know it's late night. So I appreciate it's 12:30 Eastern over in Clemson. But last question for you here. Can you give me your way too early Super Bowl prediction?
Hmm.
Did you think about this ahead of time? I sent you the
I
notes.
did. No, I know. I
You're
did.
still
But
you're
I'm
overthinking, you're rethinking your pick now.
so back and forth.
Well, what are you back and forth between?
Oh, really only the NFC team.
What, you got Chiefs in the AFC?
I unfortunately do.
Great. Yep, that's probably what I would have gone to. So you're
Dude,
between you're
the
between the Packers and the
you're funny.
not the Packers.
I
Okay, so you're between the 49ers and the Cowgirls? Who are you thinking of? Who are you
this
between? You can tell me. No one's gonna hear it except
I'm
whoever
between
listens to this.
I'm between probably the NFC favorite right now and the Eagles. Would you say they're the NFC favorite or no?
The Niners?
Eagles.
I don't think the Eagles or they did have a good draft. They fixed their
Matt, their
secondary, you would
draft is
think, but
insane and they got Saquon Barkley.
it's true. That's gonna be tough. And and they got Kenny Pickett.
Hey, Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett reminds me of Kenny from fucking South Park. That's what I have to say about that.
Oh, they killed Kenny. Those bastards. But come on, just give me the pick. Super Bowl
I'm
pick.
gonna damn, I'm gonna be a little it was between the Eagles and the Packers. I'm not even a front.
Let's go. I don't know why I just did the skull, but let's go. I accidentally I went Justin
I
Jefferson there.
I think I'll go Packers because I think Eagles is too easy. I think the Packers are gonna be really good this year.
Let's go. And so Packers Chiefs, who you got in the game?
Chiefs.
God, 3 in a row. Has that ever been done? That might be the first ever. I don't even know. I
I
don't
don't
even
know.
know. Packers probably did it in the 40s.
They're gonna win one more,
Oh
and
my
like
fuck.
Kelsey's never gonna win another one after that. Mahomes will though.
My camera just stopped recording, but I think I can get it back. All right,
The Zoom?
I'll use the Zoom for the rest of it, but
Oh,
Chiefs over Packers. I don't hate it when you got the Packers
oh,
in the
wait.
shit.
So your actual camera that was recording
It's
isn't
back on. Don't worry about it.
it? Well, it's not what the Zoom is showing me of you.
No, no.
Okay, I was gonna see. I'm seeing like a fucking light thing. I thought that was gonna be in it this whole time.
That's the thing you see is the camera, but yeah, I think that's all we got for you, Jana. Thanks for coming on the pod. I appreciate hearing your wisdom here. And yeah, we'll have to do some ones in person when
What
you're in town this summer.
I want to do one thing. I got a question for you,
Oh, I was not prepared.
and I think we should vice versa. Just because this was kind of on the top of my mind, and we ended on football.
Sure.
What are your rankings
Put me on
one
the
through
spot.
four of NFC North at the end of next season and the AFC North, being both the Packers and Steelers division?
You want me to go 1 through 8?
No. I want NFC like one through four, and then I want AFC one through.
Oh, you want me to rank every division, dude? On the
No, no, no,
spot?
no, 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 just the Norths. NFC
So
North and AFC North.
oh, so
Just
the two divisions rank 'em.
yes, just the two divisions, but separately.
All right. I like the Packers. Vikings, I think, are going to be terrible. I think Bears are going to be pretty good. Lions are good. But then you guys got Ravens, great. Steelers will be great. Browns
Well, you can
will
do them separately. You can do them separately.
Browns will be good if Jameis Winston gets in there. Not Mr. Massage Man. and then Bengals. Dang. I'll probably go AFC North just because I don't trust the Vikings QB situation, and I do like Caleb Williams. I think the Bears actually got a real shot at the playoffs this year. But no, I'm gonna go with your division. I'll go AFC North here.
Shit. I
It'll
mean,
be a better North.
that was going to be my second question of which division is better, but I was asking you to like how you think they're going to finish. Like, do you
Oh,
think Packers are going to be first, Bears
Pa
first? Like, who?
Packers 1, Lions 2, Bears 3, Vikings 4, and then for you guys,
I,
I'll go Bengals 1, Ravens 2, Steelers 3, Browns 4. I don't know. This is off the top of my head. I didn't think too much about it.
I
But
think both are going to
I'm
be.
gonna take the two quarterbacks that have been well, I guess Burrow didn't have but Burrow was
I,
hurt. I think he'll be healthy this year.
I
I'm gonna take the what have you done for me lately
well,
argument
no,
and,
and
and assume the
Burrow.
Bengals are good back to form when Burrow's
Well,
healthy.
that's the thing is Burrow actually got some big ass offensive linemen too. So
That's what he needed.
he's actually going to have some protection for once, although he lost one of his wide receivers.
Hey man, it'd be like that. And well, T. Higgins wants out of there, but doesn't seem like he's really going
Come to
anywhere. But who
Pittsburgh.
knows?
Come to Pittsburgh.
That would be wild. Yeah, but you guys could use them. Yeah, you guys should
No,
work out a
that's
deal there.
we need a
Trading in division is
legit
never.
number one.
The Bengals don't want to give you guys T.
Fuck you
Higgins.
mean? We just signed Patrick Queen.
That's different. That's free agency. That's like Patrick Queen being like, "Screw you,
Yeah, but
Ravens. I'm going to your rival." But
everybody want to come to
trading
Philly.
one of your star players to another team in the division, that almost never happens. The Bengals would be really dumb if they did that. But hey, for your sake, I hope it happens. But hey, Jana, Lil Bro, thank you for
I'm
pulling up for
taller
the
than you.
pod. You really didn't have to. I did call you Little Bro, so I guess that was deserved.
I was
All right,
gonna say
big bro.
no. I don't
Th-
want all that. That's weird.
thanks. All right,
That's only Andrew. That dude's fucking huge.
Andrew catching strays.
Well, no, I didn't. Not you
You
made
meant
it
like
into a
ripped.
stray. Yeah,
You meant
no,
like
I
it's
mean
a
I didn't mean ripped. I mean that's a tree.
tree. Spinning the block on Andrew. All right. Um, I'm glad we could go off the rails here, but Jana, thank you so much for pulling up to the pod, man.
In-person pod in the Ozarks coming soon. Just kidding.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll think about it.
If we did it, it would totally have to be like a late night thing.
I don't think I want to lug all that equipment out. But
Yeah, that's true. That would probably be a pain in the ass
next
for you.
next bachelor party, we'll do it.
When the fuck do you think we're gonna get invited to a bachelor party together next?
I don't know. I also don't know where I'm gonna end this interview, but I'm gonna say it again. Thanks for coming on.
Probably should end it before the Ozark, but I don't know. You're the mastermind behind it.
All right, we'll end the interview here, I guess. Thanks for thanks for pulling up, brother.
Yes, sir, skis.
Thank you again, Jana, for pulling up to the podcast. I know it was a late one as I get into the weaning hours of the night. I don't know if that ASMR, if that makes any sense to. I don't know where I'm going with this, and you now know why beer is not advised to be drunk on on podcasts. But yeah, Jana, thanks, and there might be a brothers pod in the works here. Me and Jana getting something going could be fun, and yeah. Jana's trying to upstage the cash call, which is under construction. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see who wins that battle between Dr. Jones and Jana. Um, it's all I'm obviously joking, but am I? Something I would never joke about is the Goosebump sports moments of the week, which is everybody's favorite moment of the week. Let's get into it. Starting off at number 10, we have gymnastics. Gymnastics have made it to the show, and we'll probably be back on the show with the Olympics this summer. But number 10 is Simone Biles, who just won she just won her ninth national title. And the only reason this is the number 10 moment on the list is because she did it in such a dominating fashion. I think she finished first in every single event, so it wasn't close for a second. So the moment's not that exciting, but pure dominance had included Goosebump moments of the week. So here we go at number 10 with Simone Biles.
Massive difference for her. So she's just got to get through this bar routine. Very little pressure on her, but always a good opportunity. Smooth release moves. She has such an efficient bar routine, really minimizing those handstands, potential deductions. 2 steps on the dismount, but man, she looks good this weekend. There's this joy I notice from her when she starts and ends her routine that I haven't seen in
Number
a long time.
9, Vladimir Tarasenko, crucial goal for the Peas en route to the Stanley Cup in Game 6.
Tarasenko with a big goal, and Florida takes the 2-0 lead.
Number 8, Willie Adames walks it off for the Brewers. Brew Crew!
Ground ball. It's gloved. It's off the glove. Contreras will stroll in. And the ball game is over. The Brewers win. It is Adames who delivers in the clutch again.
Number 7, Nick Lofton walks it off for the Kansas City Royals.
With some timely hitting in the ninth. Scott to right. Tatis backpedals. He's underneath it. Makes the catch. Velasquez tags. Here's the throw. Offline. Royals win. Nick Lofton comes through with a sacrifice fly. And the Royals beat the Padres 4-0.
Number 6, Nick Castellanos walks it off for the Phils against my Brewers.
First and second, nobody out. Line drive to right field. He is the hero. A one hop off the wall. Here comes Merrifield, and the Phils will win it. In the bottom of the 10th inning, Nick Castellanos, an RBI double, 2-1.
Number 5, Ellie De La Cruz with a wicked relay throw to get the tying run out.
Pro Armstrong scores. Magical green light. De La Cruz relay. It's there. He is out. Hurtubise and De La Cruz cut him down at the plate. The batter runner Suzuki to third, 2 outs, and the lead preserved.
Number 4, Richie Palacios walks it off for the Rays.
That's going to do it. A one-hopper to the wall. Off the bat of Palacios, scoring Caballero, and the Rays win it 6-5.
They wanted that pitch in, and Richie's got that uppercut swing, and he knew off the bat the ball game was over.
And the Rays walk in.
Number 3, Pavin Smith walks it off for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And be a hero off the bench. High in the air, deep center field. Pavin Smith, goodbye. First career walk-off, home run or hit for Pavin Smith, and the 4th Diamondback walk-off win this year. Who's got a craving?
Number 2, David Schneider walk-off home run in the 14th inning for the Blue Jays.
Sends a fly ball to right. He's hit it well, and it's gone. Schneider sends him home by walking it off with a 2-run homer here in the bottom of
Number 1, Birmingham Southern walks it off a
50
day
RBIs.
after their school closes forever.
Blast it to left! Are you kidding? Are you kidding? And do you believe you kicking? Birmingham Southern wins it 9-7.
Absolutely heartwarming stuff from our number one Goosebump moment of the week. Wow, Birmingham Southern closes down for good, and the baseball team says, hold up, we're not closed yet. We are the school. We're the last one standing, and we're going to live to see another day. I believe they did go on to lose the D3 championship to Wisconsin Whitewater. Shout out UW. But let's forget about that. Birmingham Southern is the way bigger story. That's just an inspiring moment, and I like the call. Simple, but I like the call from the commentator. Are you kidding me? Do you believe? And you, if you look at it, their fans are going crazy, jumping on the dugout. I keep bourbon. I can't. Next one, I ain't drinking beer. I'll tell you that. But yeah. What a moment. What a moment. So last week I ended the show by saying you can fix any Apple product with the factory reset. Turns out that is not true. It's not true at all. Maybe it's because it was my third factory reset, but they did me dirty. They turned Nemo into a 15-hour long job. It should be a couple hours, but I hit up a new freaking Katana gaming laptop. Shout out John Doe for putting me onto that. But yeah, screw you, Steve Jobs, Apple. I will never use an Apple product again. Well, no, I'm obviously going to use an iPhone, but yeah, MacBooks ain't doing the job. And neither was the factory reset. But let me finish the show here with my official NBA Finals pick, which I already kind of made in the interview with Jona, but I got the Mavericks in 7. I do think the Celtics have the better team. I think they're a deeper team, better role players. Their two stars are right on par with Luka and Kyrie, but those are the two guys that are making me make this decision. And in addition to role players who've been playing really well, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, as Jona named as the X Factor. Derek Lively has been a menace on the boards. And yeah, I like the Mavs here. And in terms of finals MVP, I like Kyrie Irving. I'm thinking back to the Nemo interview, and Nemo was saying that, I'm worried what's going to happen is this is going to fuel Kyrie, all this hatred and animosity in Boston. So he's worried about that. And I think he should be. But yeah, dude, great series coming ahead. I think, Kyrie, Boston, Lucky the Leprechaun, Luka. This one should be a series for the ages.